Hey, what's going on, people? Love y'all. No matter what people say, I continue to love and don't hate. I don't hate nobody. You can call me every name under the sun, from this to that to that to this. Say this about me. I still love you and I still forgive you. But I can't speak for you know what I'm saying. I can't. He's the one that ultimately makes the decision on what's gonna happen. But I like to have a conversation with uh, the people on here and the people that are discovering and listening and doing good things and stuff that want to hear. You don't have to hear. You obviously have a ability to press and play or press pause or not listening. So yeah, I guess I'll post it on YouTube. But the other two videos I'm keeping them on Facebook at the moment. So I've just been, stress it's been a lot of stress. Previously it was New Year's Eve. It wasn't the Eve yet. It was during the day. I went to my apartment, the gym at the apartment, and which I have been going to. I've been started. You say you get started January 1st or whatever, but you start now. Quit smoking tobacco. You know what I'm saying? I quit that. There's no marijuana, but you know what I'm saying? That's gone. That's been gone. That's not meant. It's very, very, very powerful herb that's meant for deities that are like 1,000 years old, to calm them from stress and stuff like that. Anyways, it's not good. And drugs definitely ain't good. They're man-made and they're forbidden fruit. You know what I'm saying? You smoke crack, you gonna die. You do the meth, you're gonna die. It's just the facts, man. It's gonna kill you, kill a part of you. You're gonna turn into a different person. You're dead. Just like the medication that the psychiatrists and stuff they give you, this is not my opinion. This has been proven. This is the truth. Like when I was 13 years old, I was in a alternative learning center because me and my buddy, I'm not gonna name no names. He knows who he is. We were out in the backyard, and the neighbor across the way, they were on top of the roof and they were talking, and it just kept on. And I had just got a BB gun for Christmas, so it was one of them daisies you pump, whatever. And so I was like, I'm gonna go get the gun, yeah. And if you know me, I've worn glasses my whole life, for the most part. Since I was 2 years old, I've been wearing glasses. But they was talking. We just grabbed the gun. We both shot it, whatever. And then they came, and luckily the dude, the little boy that was there, it was in the corner of his eye, but it didn't take his eye out. Thank the Lord that didn't happen. But you know what I'm saying. Right, but those people ended up leaving. I don't know where they went. I guess they went back to some other. They just left. But me and him went down to JDC, Juvenile Detention Center, out there in Houston. And I was in there for about a month, man. I cried. I missed my mama. I was in that cell alone. I had time to cry and think about what I did. I felt bad and this and that. And I knew I wasn't going to do that again. We both caught felony cases, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, for a BB gun, which is crazy. My grandma was furious. She's from Tennessee, so Fayetteville, Tennessee. Shout out to all them people out there. My ancestors over in that side of America, whatever, the earth on the east side of America. Yeah, she was pissed because she's like, man, back in my day, we used to play with BB guns. We'd throw rocks at each other. We walked to school barefooted and this and that. She was mad. She told them people up there that DA tried to get me down bad times. And she was like, man, you know what I'm saying? This is wrong. This is a little boy that, he's already gone through enough stress with the Child Protective Services at 9 and 10 years old, went through the system and stuff like that. He's got a lot of things going on. So they put me in mental health court and everything. There was a lot of processing problems and stuff with that, involving that. I might get into in a later date, because ain't nobody gonna sit there and tell my story, because it's mine to tell. And nobody else to tell, you know what I'm saying? All my friends, people that been with me through the struggle, they know, and they have their they have their view on it and perspective on it, which is cool, man. I love that, you know. Shout out to all y'all, you know what I'm saying? My boy Davion has been there since the beginning of this booze that happened, man. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, my buddies that I met when I was in foster care, Chris and Daniel. His birthday just passed on Christmas Day. He was born. You know what I'm saying? I was in foster care with them boys. Shout out to Gary. He just recently came back in my life. He was my foster dad. Cool dude, man. They still red flagged me at Walmart, though. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into that later, but they won't let me hire. He works at Walmart, manager or whatever. But shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Danny and his sister. I ain't heard from your sister in a long time. You know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the neighborhood that I posted up after the apartments we moved to Jersey Village area, more or less Gessner, Windy Creek area, Windy Acre, whatever it's called area. Shout out to all the people and the neighbors. I'm sorry all that happened. Apologize. It was a lot. Y'all witnessed a lot. You probably thought I was the craziest person in the city, man, in the world or whatever, for all the things I said, did, and all this, and went put y'all through. And I apologize, man. But y'all went through it with me. Y'all was there through the storm. Shout out to my boy Abdul. Ended up I gotta backtrack, but the fact I got locked up, got out, and caught a felony. They put me in an alternative learning school. I was 13 years old, 12 and 13. You know, and I was in a ALC, which is, you know, again, an alternative learning school, which they make you wear a uniform every day. I wasn't about that. Didn't like that. So I was in there and I had a pencil and I started carving into my skin because I wanted out of there. And I did. I got out of there. I was finding a way up out of there, man. I said, this place has got to go. So I did that, and they put me in West Oaks Hospital, the first hospital, the psych hospital I've ever been to. Just because I did that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't say I wanted to kill myself. I just wanted out that fucking hell place that they put me in, because ALC, if you know, ain't a fun place to go. Shout out to Trevor. You know what I'm talking about? You was up in there with me, and you've been through it too, man. You know what you did back in the day, and I forgive you. You know, they laughed at me and mocked me and said that, you know, this and that about me, but it's all good, bro. You know, you my homie for life, man. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got locked up, came out, and went to the school. And they put me in the hospital, and then they ended up at 13, the age that you start mature, you start getting growing spurts. They put me on Seroquel, and they put me on Depakote. If you know anything about Seroquel and Depakote, they're an antipsychotic and a mood stabilizer. So my dad was diagnosed with ADHD when he was a kid. I had a hard time in school. I mean, obviously I was going through all that. I moved around when I was in fourth and fifth grade. I came back to Houston and stuff, and when I was in foster care, I came back. Shout out to all the people in Bang Elementary over there in Cypher over there near Jones Road, Jones and West over there in that area of Houston. Yeah, I'm just processing right now. You know, the Holy Spirit is our counselor. It listens and cares for us. And truly, is the guiding light to the truth and the way and the life and the way to the truth and the way to the way and the way to life. But that's self-explanatory. Anyways, yeah, they put me in there. They gave me that medicine. I had growing spurts, and those two medications make you really hungry. They make your appetite increase. So when I got out of there, they had me on it. I'm not really. It's blur. I was in there. I remember watching, some movies, some Disney movies, some cool. The doctor, I wanted out of that place. That place is West Oaks. If you know about the psych hospitals, West Oaks is one of the bad. It's not one of the top ones. Anyways, that was the first one I went to. Got out. They started me on that medication. Of course, I started taking it, and my buddy that I mentioned, Davion, he's always spend the night over at my house. Basically, spent his whole childhood hanging out with me. Me and him, we was buddies, man. I ain't heard from him in such a long fucking time, man. It's crazy. Apparently he's an A&M. Yeah, he's over there in A&M. He's smart. That boy is crazy smart. But man, I don't know how's your mom doing if you ever see this. Anyways, you know. But yeah, him and my mama, had to drag me into bed because I had passed out. Took that Seroquel. You know what I'm saying? Even my dad told me one time he took it because of course and he was washing dishes. Next thing he just he fell asleep. That Seroquel is not to be messed with, man. It'll make your heart like. You have panic attacks so bad, you just start racing, and it's like you're about to die, and it's just, man. And then you get hungry. You get hungry because you like your body needs that food to keep you. Like I need something to eat, some sustenance, and to get this out of my system. I need some milk. I need something in me. So you eat a bunch, and of course that makes you gain weight. And the Depakote it don't have like the anxiety, but it has a lot of other side effects to it as well, which. Antipsychotics alone, which I just recently went to the doctor out here in Austin, and the lady was such a cool lady. I explained to her like basically everything about my ADHD, that I got misdiagnosed with ADHD because it's been, the two is going to be looked at in different ways. She asked me, have you ever stayed up more than 7 days? I said, no, never. Maybe 2 at the most, but as far as that, I do rest. And I've been resting a lot better ever since I stopped taking medication. But we'll get to that later because I'll show you exactly what I mean by the medication is more harmful than good. Obviously, I've already approved enough with that. But yeah, all the side effects. And I went back to school and I was having a hard time focusing, man. I was on that medication. I was so tired all the time. But I kept going, man. I kept trying. But then I had that felony, so I got back. They accepted me back into Cook Middle School, man. And I was in the special education classes to help, which is an amazing program. I met a lot of cool buddies there too. Edward Campos and Billy. Man, last time I saw you, you went fishing. I ain't heard from you since. Javion, shout outs to you, man. You know what I'm saying? All the people out there in that middle school. My boy Allen, man. I ain't heard from you in a while, man. Dude, I used to be crazy back in middle school. I was big. I was 250 pounds and 13, 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't no bully though. I didn't let nobody bully nobody. I stood up for the kids that had special needs, man. You know what I'm saying? They were the coolest, most genuine people. They love, man. They're some of the most nicest, sweetest people is the people that suffer from like Down syndrome or stuff like that. They're so sweet, so sweet. I was in class. I would go in the back and help them out and stuff. They'd take us back there and stuff. But nah, and then there was dude John Wynn, man. You know what I'm saying? You was on that my Facebook. You had messaged me calling me fat and this and that, and I don't want to go into much detail. And I was like, bet, bro, I'll see you at school the next day. And I told all my buddies, I was like, man, this motherfucker, at first I seen him in the hallway, he pushed me, and then he ran out the wood shop. So I was like, I'll see your fucking ass. I told my boys, I was like, man, I'm gonna get his ass. He just pushed me and called, at first he called me names, called me fat and this and that, and then he pushed me, which I explained to the police later. But I was on probation for the shooting, not the shooting, but the BB gun shit. But no, he totally disrespected me, and so at lunchtime, man, I told my boys I'm gonna go get his ass, and I walked up. I had the tray, the lunch tray, and I didn't just jump, dude. I told him, I was like, I'm gonna get you at lunch. I'm gonna tell you I'm coming. And I was right there, and I was speaking to him. I said, I'm coming. Come on, man. Stand up, and he didn't do nothing. He was just sitting there acting like he didn't fucking hear me, like I wasn't about to do shit. So I walked over and smacked fucking dude right in the fucking head. They got it on recording. I was hitting him with the fucking tray because he was being an asshole, man. We were supposed to be buddies, man. You sit there and fucking do that to me. And I went and did that and shit, and got tempted. It was like, man, I'm gonna go home and run. I'm gonna go home and fucking because I could walk in distance to school. I used to skip sometimes too, but I wasn't about to run. I just sit there and I knew shit was about to happen. And at the end of the damn day, Mr. Tullis, man, that was my dude, man. They fuck around and did him dirty. Damn. They kicked him to the glass window. Anyway, excuse my ADHD. I go from one thing, but I'm working on it. It's getting better. The sun gonna shine. It's Saturday, January 10th, 2026. Yeah. Anyways, they ended up calling me in the front and said, "Hey, did you do this and that? We got you on video." And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And I told them what happened. I told them that he called me this on Facebook, and he sat there and pushed me in the hallway and ran off, and that I did that because that happened. I wasn't about to take that shit from nobody. So, yeah. Anyways, they took me to jail in the front of the school, man. They put me in that cop car and took me to jail because I was on probation, so I violated. So they took me to jail for that. Back to the place I said I learned my lesson from, but I ain't gonna sit there and take no motherfucking shit from nobody like that, man. I'll let it, you call me a name, whatever, we can talk about that. And calling me names is one thing, but then motherfucker had the nerve to push me, bro, as soon as the day and then run the fuck off. But I love you, John. I forgive you, even though your parents, they filed charges. I know you didn't want to file charges, you know what I'm saying? But your parents, they, shout out to them. They cool too, man. I love them too, But, yeah, that was the second time. Yeah, and the third time, we're going to get to that. But I went back and stuff, and they did the whole process with the ALC, and they ended up, like, doing some expulsion or, like, just suspending me for a while, which I was cool with. I was like, man, I don't want to go to school. The hell? I was so happy to get out of that place, that hell of a time I was having because all that medication, they changed it around and started putting me on Risbadol. They started putting me on this and that, saying I was psychotic. But I'm a psychotic one, but you put me on all this, I ain't psychotic, man. I'm having a hard time. I get it. In school, we're having a hard time paying attention and focusing. I'm on these real strong antipsychotics, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this and that. And anyways, they end up putting me, this is my grandma, this is like 2009. My grandma came and visited, and my mama came and visited me that time, and when I was in jail, or the first time they came and visited me in jail. And then there's that room in the visitation room. It's like a bunch of plexiglass, and you sit there, and you can talk or whatever. And I think she brought me like a Snickers or something, and yeah, she saw my grandma and gave her a hug and told her I love her because I love my grandma so much. I miss her so much. But, I got out and stuff and all that, and then they sent me to a place for troubled teens. The place, shout out to this place, such a good place. It's off Pinemont Drive, called the Center for Success and Independence. Former Houston Oilers guy helps run the place with him and his wife. The name is there, but I think he knows who he is, so I'm just gonna let him speak on his behalf. Anyways, yeah, so we're gonna get in, dive in deeper with that place, with the truth. I was born November 29th, 1995. Shout out to Chadwick Boseman. And in Houston, Texas, the Women's Hospital. I don't really recall my birth, maybe just a little bit, but memories are weird, and it can be like shown in different ways. It's hard. I don't expect no one to remember the day they were born. Some people do though. It's kind of cool, man. But yeah, I remember like my first word. Mama told me my first word was that, and I remember the moment that happened. Because like I said, my glasses, like I wear glasses. It's around here somewhere. She's like, "Oh, your first word, Dylan, was light." And I was like, "Well, that's cool." She said, "Yeah, you used to point up and go, what's that? It's that." And she said, "Light." And I repeated her. I said, "Light." And so I said, "Light." And yeah, she said that was my first word. So nobody would know besides her, you know what I mean? Because she's the one that was there. Pops was, we'll get to that. Mama, when I was born, Mama had me, and she claims that my dad was cheating on her, blah, blah, blah. Probably cursed his name to the ground and dug his name deep and buried his name because she was angry at the man, which I also can understand. Cheating on somebody is one of the hardest things to do to somebody, especially when you say you love them. So I understand. I had that happen to me. and your heart just sinks so deep, it goes so deep into like it's a depressive state. It's like the person I love so much has the audacity to even come close to cheating. Like, we were supposed to be together. I never said no, I wanted to be separated from you, and you went around and slept with somebody behind my back. I knew the moment you did it because I felt it. I felt my heart just hurt. Like, it was like somebody just went in there, and man, it's like I can't explain. If you know, if you know, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the cheating thing happening. Probably cursed my dad's name, whatever. It's cool. I mean, I guess, sort of. But yeah, 2 years old, my mom was with a dude named Trevor. He's the one that found out my problem with my eye, because he said something wrong. Look at his eyes. One's doing this and that and over there, and there's something wrong with it. Told my mama. My mama took me to the doctor, found out I was legally blind. So, like, you know, I was on glasses, put me on glasses at 2 years old. They tried to they did a patch over my eye, you know what I'm saying? Did that when I was younger. Went through that. That's cool. I mean, it helped, I guess. Because I used to take my glasses off and kids don't like to wear them sometimes. I take them off. But as I got older, I enjoyed it because I could see. But yeah, there's that part, you know what I'm saying, with the glasses and this and that. He found out, but come to find out later on that Trevor had a problem with addiction, and I was like in a cabin somewhere or something out in the house, way out somewhere, and it was raining that night, I remember. And Trevor ended up overdosing, and Mama found him dead on the ground with pill bottles around him. And yeah, she lost it. I don't know exact age I was when that happened, but he passed away, and I remember. And damn, it hurts. It hurts. Yeah, he was cool. I mean, for the most part, he overdosed. I think it was an accident. Shown it was an accidental overdose. I mean, I don't know much about him. I know that, you know, my mama really loved that man. And so I can't imagine how she felt when he passed away. But yeah, later on, you know, I was put on liquid anxiety medication because Mama said I have a memory of me chewing holes in my clothes. I was at a sporting event. I was chewing on my clothes. You know, a kid can have a lot of fear because, like, you bring a kid into this big old giant world. You know what I'm saying? All this huge, especially like Houston. It's a crazy place for a kid to start off. You know, if you got children, you might want them to, like, take them away and not have this part, because, like, you go into Houston, you look at these big giant skyscrapers and, like, these highways, and it's like overwhelming. It's like, whoa, this is scary, man. This is intimidating. Like, I'm this little dude, and all this is here. I just got here, man. This is scary. I was scared, man. I was like, whoa, I didn't build this. Somebody else did this. How did they do that? I'd always ask questions. Why? Or how? You know, I'd ask questions a lot. Which kids do, you know? How are they supposed to learn if they don't ask? So I was so scared, you know. I guess anxiety. So she put me on liquid anxiety medication as a young kid. They recommended it. She said the doctor's name was Dr. Hug. Can't confirm or deny the truth on that, but yeah, liquid anxiety medication. That was young. I was a young kid at that time. My dad was in and out my life, you know. My parents, they'd fight and all this and argue and stuff. They had their ups and downs, but they went through it. You know, my dad, he was a architect, master plumber's son. Him and his three brothers. You know, shout out to my uncles. They're still kicking it with us today. Shout out to my Uncle Randy. You told me to go write something down, so I don't write things down because my hands and stuff like that. And there's another reason I'm about to get to as well about writing stuff down. Very picky when I do write it down. I'd rather speak it, because when I write stuff down, I just need to come clear and correct, you know what I mean? So I'm just expressing it in a way. There's a way you could do things, you know, tell the truth, nothing but the truth. You just say it, you know, it comes out. This is what I'm doing. All that, add all that stuff and do all that. I'm bouncing from one time to another, but it all correlates and it'll make sense. My parents, they were fighting, blah 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 blah. I remember when I was 8 years old. That's when I met my buddy Davion over at Bamawood Apartments. Shout out to them. That's where I met, a good friend. His sisters. I hope y'all are doing well. Y'all are sweet, real sweet. Always loved y'all and your crazy selves, smart selves. I haven't talked to you in a long time, but yeah. But yeah, I was 8 and we were there, and I've been playing video games since I was 5 years old. I played I think my first system. I want to say, I don't know exactly. That's a long time ago. It was 25 years ago. I know I had a Dreamcast, the one that spins. Sega Dreamcast. Sega Dreamcast. I played a lot of Sonic games. I love the Sonic games, like the old school OG Sonic games with the Chaos Emeralds and stuff like that, where you fighting Mr. Eggman and this and that. It was cool. It was fun. Yeah, I remember going to daycare when me and my mom, I don't know where we was living at that time. I think it was in spring at that time. But anyway, the daycare, and I started playing Super Smash Bros, man. I was good, too. Ain't nobody beat me at that game back in the day. I was Kirby, man. The OG Kirby, you know what I'm saying? It turns into the stone, just wow. That's how I love my character, Kirby. Shout out to people that made Super Smash Bros. That was the old Nintendo 64 we used to play at the daycare. That's when I started getting into dinosaurs, and was like, this is cool, man, because there's all the kids loved it. The boys grew up with the dinosaurs. The girls grew up with whatever they did. I don't know. I'm not a girl, so I don't know. Nothing against girls, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I remember daycare. My dad used to pick me up a lot from daycare and stuff, and it was cool. He had a little truck, a little white truck or whatever, pick me up and stuff. I remember going to elementary school out there in Springs. That's where we got our first place. We used to live in apartments, bouncing apartments, my whole, basically when I was a child. So I lived all over Houston pretty much. This way, Hidden Valley. You know what I'm saying? All that in that area, for the most part. NASA Row 1 when I was younger, was living in off NASA Row 1 when 9/11 happened. I remember them evacuating the school. Just looking up, so mama mentioned something about the damn FBI, Hell's Angels and shit. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just gonna go straight into it. At 9 years old, man, my dad was in my life. My mom was in my life. Me and my buddy Davion was at McDonald's, and I just learned today because I've been trying to seek for the truth for the longest time. That me and him spit. I was told that we spit on the ground or something, but she just told me today that we spit on the equipment at McDonald's. Someone told her that we spit, and that basically snitched or whatever. It was just, I understand you spit, a little kid spitting on something, you gonna sit there and confront them like, hey man, you might have germs or something. Yeah, I remember that, and then we went up to the top of the play place, and we was talking this and that, and it was and looking down, I don't know. And then the mama came and was like, hey, what are you boys doing over there? You spit on this and that. And we're gonna go home and you're gonna write down. You're gonna write down what happened. So she takes us home in the back. I'm just thinking like, man, I'm in trouble or something. I don't know what I just did. I'm sorry. I'm in trouble. I'm scared. I'm like, I'm in trouble, man. I'm in trouble. So she takes us home and she says, write down why you're feeling this way. Why are you so angry? Which I wasn't angry. I mean, we just spit on them. We were kids, and no telling the reason why we did it. And maybe because they were feeding horses and stuff to people. There's a theory on that, and I don't know where they get all these cow burger meat from. Probably ate something nasty and spit it out. I don't know. He only knows. It's regardless. It happened, and we went, and I wrote down my dad was coming in my room and scaring me, period. My mom seems to say I wrote down my dad was coming in there and torturing me, which I'm 9 years old. How am I supposed to know the word torture? You know what I'm saying? Unless something is telling me in my ears, hey, what did he do? He tortured this and that. Telling me something, man. You're in my ear saying this. Like, bruh, I hear you. Okay, well, then I'll write it down. That's that. You know what I'm saying? So I wrote. I don't know. I wrote this stuff about my dad. I recall doing the scaring thing, but then I also recall a shift of like a whole darkness coming over, like an essence of darkness. And I'm not lying. It was just dark, man. And I felt the presence of a darkness. So all this happened. Wrote this down. She's like, okay, blah blah blah. Did your dad touch you? This and that. And I'm over here scared. Like, I'm in trouble. Am I in trouble? And I was like, yeah. He touched me. He used to frog me, man. Frog it when you grab the knuckle and you, bam. He used to frog me, and which, you know, Indian burn. You know, my dad's Native American, so shout out to the pops. But you know, he was just toughing and roughing me up. He wasn't doing nothing but trying to, you know, make sure I wasn't no sissy punk, man. Where we grow up, you can't be no fucking sissy punk, man. I used to get these popsicles, and he get them, and he act like he was doing it, like he was, you know, doing some gestures like he was doing that. I know why he was doing that, because he was trying to test me to see if I was I flew a certain kind of weight. But dad saw the anger in me that day that he was like, man, I ain't fucking with him, because I was mad, boy. He do that, I get fucking mad, man. I know you my dad, but you ever fucking do something with sexual, anybody on this planet ever exist on any plane of existence tries to do something against my will sexually, especially a man, you gone. That's it. You erase from existence. And as far as I'm concerned, because you could try, but I'm telling you, bro, I'm going to end you. Because that's just wrong. Anyway, dad knew that. He saw that in me. He was like, I don't know. I can't speak for him, you know. It was just a test, though, to see how I roll. See if I was ever to roll that way, which I wasn't, obviously. When I was a kid, my grandpa, this is another thing that set my mom off. My grandpa was giving me a bath, trying to help bathe me. I know I was like 2-3 years old. He was trying to help bathe me. I was in the bathtub, and he was over here, you know, helping me wash and this and that. And I looked up, and I was like, I got it. I got it. He touched me down there, but he was trying to help clean me. And I was like, I got it. I can take care of myself, Grandpa. I don't need your help. This is my time to be in here. I'm 3 years old and 2 years old, saying, I'm okay. So I guess he's like, oh, okay, good. So he let. I don't know what he was doing, but then something happened. I remember going to the car home with Mom, and I saw a dark figure behind me, like a dark shadow coming. And I had drew a picture or something when I was a kid, bro. I drew a picture of this thing. And Mom was like, what is that? Blah, blah, blah. And I said something about Papa touched me in my private parts. Well, she did. He tried to help me. And she took it to the point where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's doing stuff to my son. But she was being a mother, so I understand. She was being a mother. But shout out to Tori, you understand further. You know what I'm saying? You know. But yeah, he did, but he didn't do it in a sexual way. I'm his grandson. What the fuck? And I wasn't about to let that happen. I don't care how big you is, motherfucker. You touching me? Take this bar of soap and make your ass fall, and I'm gonna deck your ass in the face. Anyway, but nah, I went home and the pictures of something. I drew something, man. It was crazy. Mama asking all them questions. I understand you're a mama. You're concerned about what happened. She's like, oh, there was accusations made about my grandpa molesting me and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm like a little ass kid, bro. I'm like 3 years old. You know, I don't know exactly. I can't tell you the exact dates of this chronological date. I mean, I could ask, but it has nothing to do with the exact day. I mean, to him it does, but regardless, uh, yeah. So like that happened. CPS got involved. It was like all up in our life because the accusations and shit with my grandpa. They did their investigation. You know, Mama has her sayings that she had it done to her by him, and that was her claim that my grandpa did it, which my grandpa worked for Brown and Root for 40 years. He'd come home, he had a heat stroke so bad that my grandma put an ice pack on his head and it melted instantly. It started melting because he worked the Great All for a long time. So, you know, I've been with my mama over 30 years, been on by her side trying to help her and making sure she's okay. You know, but today, shit's gonna change, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because when I went to foster care, I was 9, and I turned 10 in foster care. Today's the 10th, so we gonna set the tone, the rights. So the stuff got said about my dad. I was in that dark. I was my dad about him coming and scaring me. He came in there and pushed the bed up. Cause I'm telling you, I've been wearing glasses since I was a little kid, and the light. I had to sleep with light in my room or something, but Dad was trying to get me to change and not have to do that no more. But when I took my glasses off, I'd look up and open my eyes, and there'd be deities flying. I just see these spirits flying around, and it freaked me out, man. So I'd go run into Mom and Dad's room and lay in between them, and I felt comforted. I felt that presence go away, like I was safe. So, but Dad was trying to help, you know, make sure I was straight. It was tough, you know. I could stand up. But yeah, he scared me. Came in there after all that experience and pushed it up and raised the bed. And I told Mama, you know, that's why I did that. I don't know. That's what I guess the first thing that came to my mind because it was concerning me. Like, my dad's doing this to me. What's his problem, man? What's going on? I'm a kid. Well, why is this happening? You know, you my daddy. Why you fucking? Come on, man. Help me out. You ain't making it hard on me, Dad. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have a tough time, man. And here goes these allegations again with the molestation. I guess Mom and a bunch of investigators, Child Protective Services, telling who else was involved. The courts was involved. It was a whole process that I said that Dad molested me, man. And I told them, no, man, like, no, my dad didn't do that. But they were like in my ear drilling me, man. Like, your dad do that, dad do that. Like, I'm like, and I was so scared. Like, I was like, I'm in trouble. What do I do, man? What do I do? Like, man, this is a lot. So they wanted me to write down, and I remember going to this place, like, it was weird, man, like this, like a spaceship place up somewhere the hell. I don't know what the hell it was, but they started like doing tests on me and stuff, like testing my body for evidence of like it, for molestation or any type of thing like that with sexual stuff, and they didn't have no evidence at all that my dad did that. After all that, they still thought that my dad did it. Somebody had something against my dad, man. Somebody had some hate or something against my dad. But I go into foster care where I end up going and stuff to foster care. They took me to this place. It was weird in the first place, whatever. It was a lot, and took me there, and I met my buddy, Christian Daniel. You know, it was cool. We didn't talk about the stuff that happened, like all that molestation. No, that never got talked about. I never brought it up, and everyone never said anything because I thought it was over with. I was like, okay, well, I'm in here, I'm suffering. I guess this is my punishment for doing that, for me lying or whatever. So saying that my dad did that when I said no, but they was probed and putting it in my head, like brainwashing me over and over again, saying shit. I'm not lying, man. This is the truth, man. So help me God, man. He up there. You know what I'm saying? Yahshua, King Jesus. This one of the reasons why I went towards the light was because I needed him. I needed him so bad because all this stuff was happening to me. I needed somebody on my side, man. Yeah, I miss my mom so much when I was in foster care, man. I used to cry every night. I miss my mom. I used to tell my buddy, because me and my buddy Chris, we were roommates. He slept, you know, I slept in the same room and stuff, and we shared a bathroom, whatever. And miss my mom, man, every day. I would cry. My mom went to the psych hospital for 9 months, and they told her she needs to get things situated because she's over here. It's a lot, blah, blah. Anyways, you know, and my grandparents, they couldn't go to them. It's like, why couldn't you just go to the grandparents? Because of the accusations that were made at 2 years old about my papa, my grandpa. So they're like, no, we can't send them there because that's been said. So we gotta send them to foster care. So I ended up going, which foster care wouldn't. It has its stuff. It's meet new friends and stuff. You just, you know, it's good. It's a good place sometimes. If it's better than, you know. I remember being in the bus stop with my mom. We traveled because she took off. She took off after all those. This is why she was in the mental hospital. She took it, like, basically kidnapped me. And didn't confront my dad, didn't call no police. Took me and took all our stuff. Took I don't even remember my cat that I got from my 8th birthday. After a wasp, my buddy Davion hit the damn wasp and heads up in the corner with the broom, and they didn't attack him, they attacked me. I started crying. I had a terrible fear of wasps ever, like, after that. I was like, man, I was crying. It was my birthday. And, you know, I was like, man, I'm having a hard day, man. It sucks. What the hell, man? And then my grandma calls and was like, there's a cat here. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah. This is at, Bama. I don't know what apartments this was, something, but we were over there. I think, yeah, it was Bamawood Apartments. That was cool. I have good memories. But nah, this is my first cat. We ended up calling him Moomers. He was a cool cat. And, he was a great cat. But yeah, they ended up breaking into our apartment and stealing my game system. And the cat jumped out the window that got broke out, but he came back, of course. Anyways, shout out to the peoples and stuff. We ended up getting that house where out in the spring. It was cool, man. My dad was working, busting his ass. He was a master painter, dude. Painted over. He said he painted over 1,000 cranes in his lifetime. You know, the big old giant cranes. He's a master painter, so industrial, commercial, and residential. If you know anything about painters, you know, I've been told that's the trade that dies the earliest, because the pain and the paint going in the system and the body. It's toxic and it kills and stuff like that. And then the pain from constantly moving, and he had a torn shoulder from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So my pops went through so much hell, man. Because mama took off and basically kidnapped me and took off to Florida. I remember being in the car. She packed a lot of stuff, threw it in the car, and just took off. I think, yeah, the cat was with us because we went through the drive-through. Man, how did the cat even, I don't know. Anyways, we went to the drive-thru of some restaurant. Shout out to them for helping us. I'm not really sure exactly. Not restaurant, fast food chain or whatever. And he was crawling around in there. It was cool. But she's taking down I-10, going to the east towards Florida. Just like I am now, getting tired. I told Mama, I was like, I'm tired. She's like, well, get some rest. She said we're going, she said we're going somewhere. Anyways, it was crazy because I woke up and we was going home, going somewhere, man. It wasn't the place she said she was taking me. You know what I'm saying? I woke up and we're in Florida. Like, I'm seeing the sign, welcome to Florida. I was like, Mama, what is going on? She said, don't worry about it. And then we were homeless. We got there, she had no plan or nothing whatsoever. We was homeless, and we walked around. We walked into this pizza place, and I'm sure the people, if they're still there, will tell you this is truth. Me and my mom, I'm a little ass kid, man, and all this shit just happened to me. And I'm with my mama, just, you know, walking around, I'm walking with my mama. I guess we're hungry, and mama goes in there and is like, hey, me and my son are hungry. Can we have some food? I'll pay you back. And this and that. I don't know what all was said after that, because, you know, I'm doing over here, just walking and cool. They gave us some pizza, I guess. I don't remember really eating it, but anyways, we find she met some random dude in Florida on some house, some stilt house, and random dude, I guess. I don't know if she knew him or not, but met the dude, and he welcomed us in, and he had a dog, he had a black lab, and dude bought me a hamster, which is cool, man. A little hamster, had a little pet, you know, some children enjoy that can help them and nurture them, especially in stressful situations. So he bought me a hamster. That was really comforting. But yeah, it took me out there, and I remember this and that, and something about, you know, some help. Something about, if I recall, that dad ended up showing up or something, and was pissed off and was calling out somebody, and a fight went down or something. And then we ended up, my aunt ended up coming, and this is how I got back to the Texas, the state of Texas. My aunt stepped in, and my mama's half sister, and she got me a plane ticket. So I rode on the plane by myself. Got on the plane, rode the plane from Florida, and went to the plane station out there, I guess at Austin, where I'm at now, because she lives in San Marcos. Well, mama says she's dead. The other day she said, "Oh, my sister passed away." I don't know how she know that, but anyway. Last time she said somebody died, she was talking about my dad. Then he ended up passing away. They talked about my Daveline, which is a lady that helped raise me when I was younger, that was there, you know, helped take care of me when I was younger. One of my grandma's best friend, who was one of the most sweetest. If you know Aunt Daveline, that was the closest lady to God I've ever met in my life. She was all about God, man. She'd always call me and her grandson Austin. She'd always say, "My precious," you know, "You're so my sweetheart," with this and that, precious, that and that. And she was such a lovely woman. She did. Mama says she passed away, and Davey ended up passing away from complications, like Alzheimer's, whatever. Stroke. She had a stroke, and cause she tried so hard to be perfect. She wanted to be like her maker so much, because she loved God. She wasn't. Nobody is perfect but Him. But I'm saying, like, you know, she tried, and it's all that matters. But her husband apparently is real sick. So if you want to go meet your wife and have a new whatever. Anyway, shout out to Daveline, man. Mama called her mother Mary. It's crazy. Yeah, it reminds me of her. Yeah, so I ended up going with my aunt Belinda and her husband David. And they took care of me for a little bit, and stuff like that. All that stuff and accusations. I don't know if the stuff with my dad was brought up in that time. I don't recall ever speaking about it. I know I was cool, and I stayed in the room with their adopted son Michael. And he ended up getting killed and murdered by some drunk guys. My battery was 10%. By some drunk guys that were talking this and that. And my uncle, not my uncle, Michael got beat to death. And I can't like tell the whole story, because that's for Belinda and David to do. But love y'all. Even though, Belinda, the last time we talked, you just you know what you said, but I still love you. I forgive you, because, I mean, you said what you said, and I understand, you know, you got a lot of anger and stuff because of all that. But anyways, man, foster care stuff, cause stepped in when the foster care I missed my mom, got out. Literally, like, got out and ran into my mom. This is when I know I put a rock in my ear when I was at the park. I put it in my ear and it was stuck in there. I was freaking out. I was like, I'm gonna go in their room and try to get a Q-tip, this and that. And I ended up telling them, like, hey, I got a rock in my ear. And they took and got me surgically removed. Ooh, that was crazy. But soon after that, I ended up going home. I ran in my mom, jumped in my mom's arms, like one of the movie scenes. Cause I hadn't seen my mama. It had been 9 months. I was away from her. You know, I had turned 10 in the foster care. So, yeah, there's something about Insta funds or something that's popped up. You know, the money. I don't care for money. Cash over money is God over money. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got out of foster care, and that's where I met we lived in the apartments off Gold Point Drive. My uncle said something about, you know, something happened where my dad bought me a Dave Mirra BMX bike, because my dad loved BMX. Ended up doing a backflip, breaking his collarbone, and messing his body up even more than what he already had done with the painting, and continued to paint until the man continued to work until the day he died. Passed away, which was April 8th, 2024. It's a part of the grieving process, you know. Dad fought like hell, so much hell during that time, saying that I didn't do this, I didn't do that. He even got, you know, they had given us visitation and stuff. I guess I was in foster care or something to have to communicate with him. It's almost like I was in there and I was told to act like I was scared of him, like he was gonna do something to me. You know, I was intimidated by my dad, but he had a deeper voice than me, it just says a lot. I was scared of my dad, you know. There's nothing wrong with the little fear of your dad, you know. But yeah, he fought so hard, man, with the whole system, him being accused of touching his own son, doing this and that to his own son. We went through that whole situation, this and that, with it, and blah blah blah. And to continue on, I think I was 11 or 10 or something, and into 11, something happened. Yeah, I was in school. They had come pick me up. One of the times they had come pick me up, I was in school over off 249, right there off of something, man. Right there. There's a school right there. It's right there in Hidden Valley, right when you turn to the right. It's that school. If you know, you know. I can't really think of the top of my head at this moment because I'm trying to. But they can't pick me up at the school. I was living with my grandparents. They can't. Yeah. All the shit with the grandparents stuff. I guess anyways, the proof was there, and the mom was. We had that place. I guess the mom tripped out and had a trip again, and they ended up. I was in school with something. I wasn't doing. I was in class, and they came and took me to the room and said, "Hey." They were talking to me, this and that. I was in the room with damn Barbie doll houses and shit. And they came and was like, "Hey, you know, we gonna take you somewhere." And I was like, "Okay, what's going on?" They ended up taking me to the foster home. That was one of the times. I don't know, the first time. Anyway, at the time, but I was at my grandparents' house, so it had to have been the second time, I guess. Yeah, because Mama took off. Something, man. I don't know. Anyway, Mama had a bad trip, man. All this allegation stuff. And dad, we was fighting, but I got older and stuff and everything, and put on the scene and they made the excuse that dad did that. Dad, that was the excuse that I had for the reason I was behaving was because my dad did that to me. When obviously it's like, this boy's angry. What's wrong with him? Did you not just hear all that I just told you? I have a little reason to be upset, man. I'm going through all this bullshit, and I'm only 11, 12 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? I can hardly see, let alone hardly, I can see enough to understand. Yeah, but no, at the Center for Success and Independence, man, let's just go back to that. I was in there, and they were doing the counseling and stuff like that, and I was in there with the dude, man, the Greek dude. He was the guy that did the counseling there, the therapist. And yeah, he was talking about asking about the whole shit with my dad, and I just felt so uncomfortable and sick talking about it. But then they just kept on, man. Like, what the fuck, bro? But he told me to write it shit down. I wrote all these pages and shit, this and that. But it's like something was in my ear, bro. Like, the fuck? I'm a kid. How am I supposed to even know about, my dad doing, having this and couches and guns and fuck, man. Damn, it was like an excuse to a reason to, like, for the way, the anger and stuff. Like, well, this is why I'm so angry, because my dad did this when he didn't do it, This is just stories that have been told to me time and time again, that your dad, this happened to me and this happened to your dad. Because my dad, I know he probably don't want me to tell his story. I'm not telling his story. I'm telling my story. But this is a part of it, and this upsets me in the fact that it happened to my dad and my uncles. They were raped when they were kids. And the guy that did it ended up going to prison eventually for 40 years. I think he just passed away. Yeah, he would do it to them, and he'd buy them gifts and shit, make it justifiable. Which I guess, when you're a young teenager growing up in the 70s and 80s, whatever. Yeah, I got memories and stuff. My dad was in and out of my life, blah, blah, when I was younger. My dad used to pick me up and take me to my grandpa. Because my grandma and grandpa on my mom's side lived on this house right here. There's on Helms Road in Hidden Valley. They lived on the corner. And then there's a street going this way. And then there's the houses that keep going down. Well, my grandparents on my dad's side lived like 4 or 5 houses down from that. So, like, this is so crazy. That's how my parents met. They met because they were literally like neighborhood, that's that 9 years old or whatever. Apparently they were boyfriend, but dad says no, it wasn't, because mom is, I don't know, maybe. But anyway, that's her story, not mine. But this is my side of the story. This is what I am going to stick with, because this is the truth on my, I'm speaking. But yeah, going to the Center for Success, all that stuff written down, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up, getting jumped in there and thrown around, which is cool, because, like, you learn, it toughens you up, Dude punched me and stuff. Shout out to my boy Roel, man. Roel, you a real one, bro. I remember my boy Joe, man. Boxer, big old dude. He was a cool dude. This ain't a lie, man. This is the truth, man. The Center for Success. Look it up. There's a dude named Joe. I don't know what. Anyway, none of this made up, man. This really happened, bro. I got the scars to prove it. Anyway, they ended up throwing me in the psych wards. I was going crazy up in that dang place, man. They took me to HCPC, Harris County Psychiatric Center. Call me a lie one more time, man. They got it documented that I went to Harris County Psychiatric Center and was put in the jail part of Harris County Psychiatric Center, because that's where they sent me after my second time in jail after the fight I got with, because they wanted to help me out and stuff. But they ended up sending me to Harris County Psychiatric Center for a time, like a month in the jail side, which is cool, because like they give you a radio and stuff like that. And it's really chill there, I think it's for the younger guys. But that's where I met a dude. He introduced me to Zero. So I was like 14 at the time because my grandma passed away after, like, at the very end. But I was like 14. Shout out to the dude, man. I wish I could thank you so much, bro, for introducing me to Z-Ro, man, because he's got Z-Ro literally. Joseph Wayne McVeigh literally helped me so much through high school. You can ask anybody. I would skip class, but I would sit in my headphones and I listened to him rap. I listened to all his music. That's how I know, man. And I started doing it in high school. I started getting in the circle with the boys, man. Shout out to all them, man. We get in the rap circle and we sit there and rap, man, one after another. And I used to beatbox, man, for them and stuff. And yeah, how's that time going? It's over an hour I've been talking. It's therapy session, right? Life story. If I die, I die. Whatever. Liberating, I guess. Yeah, I was rapping. That's why Joseph Wayne McVeigh. And then I was doing some. I was on. Mama ended up getting a computer from somebody. There was a storm, Hurricane Ike. It took the shingles off, and the dang tree in the backyard fell down and stuff like that. Knocked over the treehouse. I was back there. That me and my boy Zach. Shout out to Zach Wingate. If you still in jail, free my boy Zach, man. He cool dude. He's one of my friends that met my grandma. And the spicy peanuts, man. It was cool. He was like, "Whoa, these are good." And my grandma looked cooked, buddy. Cause my grandpa was from Louisiana, from Evangeline, Louisiana. And then my grandma from Tennessee, Fayetteville, and they both ended up moving to Houston for something, and that's how they met. So, yeah, but I learned about Z-Ro, and I was doing some research on YouTube, and come to find out that the man that mentors Z-Ro, his name is K Reno. So I was like, whoa, who's this dude? So I went searching if the man that's helping mentor the guy that's been helping me out all this time, his name is K Reno. I better start listening to K Reno. So that's how I discovered K. Anyway, Eric, whatever. I'm not really sure. I don't matter. I started to discover him, and I was jamming him, man. And then I ended up going to jail again, man. This time it was a bad one, man. Me and Mom was arguing about Lord knows what, this, that, and the other. Mama got real close to me in my face, and I just reacted and pushed her, and she slid across the wood floor, but she didn't fall. She just, did a light slide. But man, she wasn't having it. She flipped out and called them peoples on me. Said my son just assaulted me. Take his ass away. Man, yeah, my grandma ended up passing away right at the end. They gave me a visitation at the Center for Success and Independence. Me and Mama went to eat at Papados, and we got the call from my aunt saying, y'all need to come. So Mama started speeding, and then that song, The Voice of Truth by Casting Crowns, came on the radio. No, it wasn't that one. It was the one that talks about the flower quickly fading, here today and gone tomorrow. It was playing on the radio. She went, we stopped, ate, I guess we paid, I don't know, at Papados, got up, because I love Papados, went to the house where she wanted to. That's how she wanted to go. I saw her previously in the hospital. She said she told me that she loved me and that she wants to be my guardian angel. That's neither here nor there with the whole fact of guardian angels, but it's just what she wanted to be. She said to take care of my mom, so I could finish school or something, and something else. But yeah, 100% of her arteries were clogged, and she ended up passing away. But we were traveling down there, we pull up at my grandma's house, and I walked in the room. Everybody's there, all the little parts of the family there. My grandpa he gave up. But anyway, she was in bed, just laying there, and I saw her take her last breath, and she was gone in the bed, And I spent many days over there with my buddies, summers over there playing playing video games on her TV in her room. She used to take me. She busted my ass one time. I was loud at a restaurant. I started doing something, and she pulled my pants down and beat my ass in front of God and everybody. So you can't tell me I ain't got whooped before, because my grandma did it in front of everybody, and then somebody stood up and said that was the best thing I've seen all day. Yeah, I love my grandma, man. She was real. She hated snakes. She was terrified of snakes, and I hate them motherfuckers too, but I ain't scared of them. Hell no. My grandma might be, but I ain't scared of them. I stumbled a mud hole with a snake, man. But yeah, she passed away, and I said I didn't nothing. I was like in shock. I went and sat on the couch and just sat there, quiet, man. It was quiet. I just stood there. It was like all this. Everything just happened. I'm still in this place, man. I'm still in the Center for Success. I'm just on visitation. They give you like a weekend pass or whatever. So I gotta go back after all this ends. I gotta go back there and finish my time there. So I was there for like 9 months. So really, I was locked up a lot of my teenage years. I was in places like that. The last place is where a lot of the most greatest memories happen and the most craziest memories happen. Yeah, but I ended up going back, and I ended up getting out. There's like a level system that you go that they give you like you start off as 1, and then you get raised up to 2, and then 3. I made it to, but they have like 1 this, and then 1 P, and then 2 this, and then 2 P, and then this, and so on. It goes up to 4. I ended up making it into 3 P, and clocking out. But I ended it with the song Lean On Me. I sung it in front of everybody and did like the little speech. Man, and then I went to my grandma's memorial and gave a speech as well there about my grandma in front of all the family and stuff at the church, the Hidden Valley Church of Christ. I believe it was Hidden Valley Church of Christ. Yeah. There's a memorial there. That's the church one of the churches I was raised in. One of the psalms that I loved, fell in love with when I was raised and grew up in the church with my grandma and grandpa was, angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. I love that song growing up. But she used to make she used to bake the pecan pie and like carrot cake and to bring it to church, and people would go to that before they even go to the anything else. Because my grandma had the pecan trees in the backyard, and I used to help my grandpa pick them and stuff and put them in this big old barrel, because she had like I think 2 pecan trees in the back. And yeah, I'd help him, and he'd crack them, and he tried to show me how to crack them, but I think my hands were just they weren't as strong as his, so I had a hard time. But working construction 40 years, you got some strong hands, brother. Yeah, that's some good memories. She used to make things from scratch. My grandpa taught her how to make some roux for gumbo. Man, my grandma's gumbo was legit, man. She ain't really she put chicken. I think she didn't put no okra, but she made a roux. I can't tell her recipe, but I could probably recreate something like it. But yeah, he taught her how to make a roux, and that was it. Once she learned that, it was like, smooth sailing from there. I love that gumbo, man. That was my favorite time when Grandma made some gumbo. Put it on the table. Some Louisiana hot sauce, man. And I used to put hot sauce when I was at the Center for Success. You can ask the people that know me. We used to eat downstairs. We lived up in the upstairs, and there was a school like place there too, and that was pretty cool. We did a lot of work on the computers and stuff. But yeah, we'd go and eat in the cafeteria. If you were good, you were like you were doing good. You go to get the privilege to go down there and eat. Man, they had the salad with the ranch. I put the ranch on the salad, bro, and get the Louisiana hot sauce and pour it on the salad. I used to eat the salad with the hot sauce. It was so good. It's like Buffalo Wild Wing or wings, and you put the ranch and the hot sauce. That was good. We got out of there, and then the mom thing with the pushing and just a little shove. She got real close to my face and just kind of reacted reflexes like, man, don't get in my face, please. I just punish other. Swear, but like I don't like to swear, but this is the truth, man. Mama asking, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm good. You know. But nah, she called the people on me, and I ended up going to the place called Kids Harbor out there in Alvin, out there near Alvin, Texas. Somebody ended up stealing my iPod, man. I had all the Rose songs on it, the Zero songs. You know what I'm saying? Had a bunch of songs. Somebody stole my man. I had it next to on my But then there's this lady that was telling us, like, you all need to bathe. You don't do this and that. You wash yourself and you pat yourself dry. You don't sit there and really, like, she's going to pat yourself dry. But Kids Harbor was cool, man. Shout out to that place. That place was great. The Alvin High School was, like, the biggest high school in the state, in the country, actually. I need your help with getting some groceries. Mama, okay, just give me a moment. The phone's, anyways, an hour, 10 minutes, and 34 seconds. But yeah, Kids Harbor, they stole my iPod, man. Come on now. It was the iPod like this with the scroll, the thing. Yeah, it was sitting on my nightstand. It was the bed. It was sitting on the nightstand with the headphones, man. I fell asleep. Next thing I know, it was gone, man. And I told the people that, man, this is a time the Super Bowl, something was happening. Oh, the Saints won when I was in the Center for Success and Independence, you know. That's my grandpa's team. I love the Saints, man. Saints, you know. Yeah, they beat the Colts, man. That was dope. That was so dope. Everybody was like, what? Because my buddy out there, shout out to my buddy, man. Because he worked, that's crazy. He worked at the Center for Success, and I ended up going to Cypress Creek Hospital for some reason. Mama calling because she can't handle my crazy self. Even though I wasn't that crazy, man. I was just going through all kinds of craziness, you know. But nah, Mom. And I go to Kids Harbor, and from Kids Harbor I go to the Pelchin, which is a place for kids that have been through the foster care system. I get to the Pelchin and stuff like that, where they have their own system where they go through, blah, yada, yada. Met some of the... Come on now. Hey, I'm busy. Please respect my privacy. Please. Gracias. Vaya con Dios. Anyway, is in the Pelchin. I met some of my best buddies in there. I met my homeboy Abdul. Shout out to you. You know who you is. You know what the part of life that you're the one that was in the wreck with me where I got hit head on by a dually truck. The light was yellow, but bro, I was turning and there was nothing there. And all of a sudden you're like, look. Somebody said slow down. Somebody said speed. And then I looked over and seen the light, and then boom, got in a wreck, spun around. Dually truck had barely any damage to it, and this and that. I was 16, 17. I didn't even have my license. I had a permit, and I remember crawling out of the down car. I had a seatbelt bruise. Can't tell me when I had a seatbelt bruise all the way like that, man. Down. And I went to I think it was Cypher Hospital. They gave me some morphine or whatever. My boy Abdul was in the car and Cameo. But anyways, I met my boy Josh Lavoie up there at the Pelchin. Who was my roommate? That one crazy white boy was my roommate, man. And then we used to rap battle, boy. We used to fire each other up, man. We used to say, you built like I came out with one of the craziest. Everybody was like, what? Firing, so you built like the Walmart checkout line, man. It was good. Boy, I fired him up. And my boy Abdul, we'd all hit each other up with that. Shout out to my boy Brandon, you redheaded dude. He was cool. He was smart, man. That dude knew how to make the music. And then I was the only one in there with the phone, like the device that had music, and I'd play it and this and that. And I'd share it and shit. And I wasn't supposed to do it, but you know, just my buddy. The staff members. Shout out to all the staff members up at there. You know what I'm saying? The Pelchin, man. We need to make that. It's in Houston downtown area like the. Yeah, but that's Abdul, Josh. You know what I'm saying, Brandon, all y'all out there. You know, I was the only one with the perfect record in that place. You know, ain't trying to brag, but I'm just saying I was the only one with the perfect record. Everybody else that got some markings, but it's about that time. We just played basketball, man. It was so dope, man. It was such an awesome experience. You know, something ended up missing. I think that phone, like the iPod, again with the damn iPod. Well, I ain't tripping because whoever got it, you know, they probably needed it more than I did while they were in there. So it's cool with me. I really, it's all you would have had to do was ask, man. I probably would be like, hell yeah, you can use it, you can have it. You gotta steal it from me, bro. But anyway, that was a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got out of there, perfect record. And then man, I went home, I guess, and then my homegirl Autumn and her homeboy T Baby picked me up and did something. We were out there. We were gonna celebrate me getting out, and I wasn't really a pot smoker as much. Like I ain't never, but they had a blunt, and you know, I don't know nothing really much about weed. I smoked it like a couple times when I was younger or whatever, but I hit the blunt. Eminem was playing in the background, man, and I hit it and started panicking, having anxiety. I just got out of this place, you know what I'm saying? And I had anxiety, man. I had a panic attack, and I was reaching for some water. Like, here, you get the water. I was freaking out. And I just, like, went back, and I was like, I couldn't control my body. Like, my body was, I was stuck in hell. I kept saying in my head, I'm in hell, I'm in hell, I'm in hell. And then, you know, apparently, God is real. I kept saying that. God is real, God is real, God is real. Over and over, and it saved me. It basically got me through the shit that was going on with the smoking. I smoked it, and I started thinking about, oh yeah, these rappers that smoke it, and they got these nice lives and stuff and shit like that. I'm gonna smoke it, you know. But I had a horrible experience. Don't ever smoke, man. I'm telling you, that shit is terrible. It will hurt you so bad, man. Cause I walked out of the car, man. I got out, and then I was over there at West Road at Beltway 8, man. I was rocking back and forth. I ended up opening somebody else's car door because I thought I was walking in theirs. I was like a drunk, like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I went in there, and they brought me home, man. It turned night, and it was taking me back, and it got night, and my shoes, I remember my shoes came off and stuff. I ain't give a fuck. I was like, I gotta get upstairs and get into bed, man. I go up, my mom was like, you all right? I was like, I playing God. I was like, Jesus Christ. I need Jesus, this and that, you know. It's like I was seeing the universe. I was like seeing, I remember it was real dark and there were stars, like space. Like I was so high I was in space. And it was not cool. It wasn't fun, man, because after that, like I went and laid down, okay? I went and laid down in the bed with my mom because a lot of times I just lay in the bed with my mom because it was comforting, and she, you know, she did this and that, the weird shit that people think that happened, you know what I'm saying? You're disgusting. Anyway, but yeah, I lay in bed and I woke up, man, and for a period of time, like I telling you, it's like I transferred dimensions, man. Cause like I would touch something, like I touch it, and I'd feel it like 3 or 4 seconds later. Like I'd rub my hand. This would happen for like months. I felt like I was outside, like I was outside my body, and like I was dragging existence. Like it was so weird, man, when this happened. And it was for come to find out, it was a thing called depersonalization and derealization. But you need to realize that yes, this is really happening, and that yes, the rocks are real. This is all real. This is not made up. The pain that you were going through is real. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I was bad. I wasn't laying, man. I was laying down, man. In my room, on the floor, man. They keep people coming in there and checking on me. I was like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I'm laying here. I don't feel right at all, man. Whoo, I was going through it for a long time, and eventually, you know, things got better. I was so happy, you know what I'm saying? I was so happy, and time just, you know, heals, is healing. Yeah, but I ended up going back with all that. I ended my grandma. I got something to remember her. I got a tattoo, my first tattoo on my chest at like 16 years old. You got to get your parents' permission to get it at a younger age. So But I wouldn't recommend getting tattoos. You got to think about tattoos because you're not supposed to get markings on the body of the dead. But my grandma's not dead; she is alive, and you know this is her. This is the truth. This is her. Basically, I basically have her gravestone on my chest. I don't have the stone yet, but I have the piece that says her name, Eva Jane Stockwell, birth date, the date she was born. You know what I'm saying? The day she died, and then rest in peace right here. And then I have a rooster on my right here. Like it's not on my heart, but it's near my heart because my grandma, growing up, she had like paintings on the walls of a rooster. So I was like, I want to get something else because she was close to my heart, and I wanted to represent her in a way. My dad had a panther on his chest, right on his heart. It was weird. He came back in my life at 17. After all that drama, I finally was like, I saw the movie This Is the End, and it scared I had said before the truth about my mom and my dad didn't do anything, blah blah blah. But she's like, it's almost like me telling her is gonna make her explode. I don't know. You know what I mean? It was gonna make her. So I was like, okay, whatever, and I let it be. And then I was like, I can't do this no more. And I was playing Minecraft, this and that. I was having a hard time because I don't like PCs. Back in the day, I was playing Minecraft, and then I ended up watching that movie, This Is the End, and it scared the out of me, man. But thank you, Father up in heaven, for that movie because, I said, look, I gotta tell the truth. I gotta come clean with all this. But this is really the come clean. But that I came and told, hey, I messaged my dad. I was like, hey, yeah. I told him this a little bit on Facebook. I found him on Facebook and ended up calling this and that. And we met up at the zoo, one of the zoos, not the zoo. We met up at a museum or something, science, whatever. Yeah, and he's like, you big? Yeah, I was big. I was bigger, I was 200 plus pounds, man. So that was cool, but Dad came and lived with us over there off Windy Creek, and you can edit that stuff and make it. You don't gotta tell her, but anyway, it is what it is. People know where I lived at. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sit there and go to the house and be like, talk to them people, tell them, look, man, this is it. It ain't mine. I lived there for 7 years, man. Lost everything damn near. I had a computer, one of them computers, all in one computers. I had that. I had my TV. I had just got Black Ops 3, man. I wasn't able to play it because I had, we got evicted. We got foreclosed. We got all that stuff happen because Mama was all this. My dad was back in the picture, and Mama was this and that. She was going crazy. I ended up started mopping the floor, going and because I started going in a circle, but it was more like a spit, like a spin, because I met a girl, and she had a son named Axel, and I thought in my head, I was like, Axel, okay, what's an axle? And then actually something you like a gear or whatever, an axle. So I was like, all right, I'm for this little dude, make sure that kid don't go through none of this shit I've been through. I'm gonna start going and turning the right way instead of the left. I'm gonna go right. I just started spinning, like perpetually ascending, like you're ascending. I started spinning for him, man, the little boy and all the little kids, man. I was like, I don't want nobody to go through what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? So I took that upon myself for all of them because I felt like that was the right thing to do. But yeah, I was in the house. I was mopping, spinning around. I made some fucking food. I don't know what I was doing. It was so bizarre, man. Dad was in the damn garage. Dad had a long beard at one time. Smiling, man. And, yeah. Nah, he was in the garage. Mom was in that mother. It was weird. It was dark, man. That damn briefcase. I got the briefcase, man. What the hell was going on? Nah, but yeah, I had to hit them streets, man. My dad was like, you gotta have to learn some tough love, man. Hit them streets. So I got kicked out, man. 17. He came back. It was like 17, 18, 19. I was like in the transition to go into the streets. And yeah, man, Dad kicked me out to the curb. And I was walking. I ended up walking all the way from Jersey Village area down to down there, 1960 Elders, like down there by Cypher Hospital, going towards. And people, if they remember, there's a dude. I was walking. I had no shoes on. I had no shoes. I was walking. I remember I was walking through, and there was this parking lot, and this motherfucker in my ear came and was like, "You can have all this, blah blah blah. You just sit there." And I was like, "Man, fuck all. I don't need all these cars. I'm walking, motherfucker. I don't need a car right now. I need some help, but I don't know." I kept walking. I was walking to like barbed wire. It was on the bottom of my feet. I just kept walking. I ain't had nowhere else to go. And you're homeless, what the fuck? You walk until you tired enough to go to sleep. And this dude stopped. I stopped somewhere. He dropped off a pair of shoes. I was like, "Here you go." I looked at him like, "I don't know who you are, but this is I appreciate it. You awesome dude." I got the shoes. I guess I put them on. There was some dope Nikes, but I went to the church and put the shoes on the church thing, and I put them right there. And basically donated them and said, "Here, y'all can have these, because this is a church, man." And kept walked to this place back in these, man, it was some wood. I was walking, man, went through some damn something. And, I ended up kept walking. I ended up going back towards the house. And, I was walking down Gessner, go to West Road, go west all the way to that end, and then take a right, Gessner, and then take a right on over there in the neighborhood. But I was walking down. There's a gym right there that I used to go to, LA Fitness. But I was walking down, man, and I saw the light. I saw it in the distance. I was like, you looked up like, "Oh hell no, I'm about to die." I booked it. I started ran home. I came home, man. I knocked. This is the place I had, been for 7 years, man. Damn. And it knocked on the door and knocking, do. Like, "Help. I'm seeing the light, man. I need some help. Open the door." I don't know what happened. I think I heard my dad say something. I was arguing. I was like, "Open the door." So I reached back my leg and kicked it. It was a steel door, deadbolted.